Coach's opening statement after that game?
Tough loss. Tip your hat to Troy. They played really well. They pitched really well. They were really scrappy at the plate, capitalized on some mistakes. They played great defense and, kind of outplayed us tonight. And, we went ahead and got the lead and relinquished that, but found a way to fight back and keep, get close, and a little too late in my opinion. But those guys played really well tonight, so I was going to give them all the credit.
Coach Stubbs kind of a tough nut to crack. Kind of what was the approach going in with him, with a book on him?
He's got good stuff. There's no doubt. And I thought, early on we kind of didn't let him get much rhythm, but then he settled in, and then started mixing better and, and just did his job. That's what, a good starter does. You got to try to get to him early, and we were close, and but, didn't finish it out.
Felt like a lot of first pitch swinging for you guys, especially in the bottom of the ninth inning. I guess how do you coach approach? Obviously, if they see a good pitch, you want them to hit it, but at the same time, you're looking for base runners there at the end.
Yeah, you try to avoid the soft outs, the check swing, ground ball, stuff like that. Obviously, you don't want that. You don't want to, do those things, but you got to go up there ready to hit. You got to go up there looking for a pitch in a certain zone, and and sometimes the pitcher wins that battle. And but I don't question the approach that they were taking. They just you got to stay in the moment and be a little bit more relaxed sometimes.
On that home run ball, I think it's 0-2 count for Braden. Was that a cutter he threw or a change?
I think it was a changeup. Okay. It was a changeup that he didn't get it below the barrel. Usually he has a little more depth on it. Kind of stayed flat right there, and he put a really good swing on it. Didn't do too much, and he's a good hitter. And that's well advertised and stuff. So you got to make really good pitches to get guys like that out.
Can you speak on Graydon's outing?
I thought it was okay. I don't think it was as sharp as he's been. They had something to do with that, but I think he would tell you that I don't think his off-speed had as much action on it or depth that he's been getting, and his fastball was good, but they battled and found holes and got traffic, and then ultimately got that big hit, and then I think they had bases loaded, and the guy ambushed the first pitch heater and got a double. So really two swings were the difference in this game: 3-run home run and that 2-run double.
Just out of curiosity, I've been trying to figure it out myself to no avail. Colby just kind of looks like a different guy. Stuff plays up coming out of that pen. You got to speak to that.
He's more comfortable in that role, and he was very honest with me when we had that conversation, and there was no ego involved. He's a team guy. He's an unbelievable young man, but. I thought he did fine. Again, we just weren't able to scratch enough runs, but their pitchers had something to do with that. But I thought Colby, looked really good in that role, and it's good to see.
Sub for Higgins, is he okay?
I think it's a hamstring, so it's probably going to be day to day, which is unfortunate. But somebody's got to step up and cover that. So I look forward to seeing if somebody embraces that and goes out there and becomes a threat in that in that lineup.